Hey everyone, welcome to my channel Coders Pipeline. So where we will simplify DevOps one step at a time. So today we are diving into an exciting topic, how to set up and configure Prometheus and Grafana, and that is also programmatically using the Docker containers. So this tutorial is perfect for the beginners and the certain DevOps professionals alike. Like by the end of this video, you will have a fully functional monitoring stack running seamlessly on your machine with the Docker and container. And let's get started. Before that, we also wanted to understand what is this Prometheus and Grafana. Okay, but before we discuss about Prometheus and Grafana, I just want to tell you like in this particular tutorial, I'll be showing you like how to do everything in a programmatically way. Okay, you don't need to like log into your host, install it, download it, extract it, install it, all that. We don't need that. So without accessing a host, we can do it through a pipeline. Okay, in the use case, I just wanted to inform you like few of the organizations like you won't have access to the host directly. Okay, so in those kind of scenario, if you want to do any changes to your application, then definitely of course you'll ask you should be they will ask you to do it through the code itself, because you are not allowed to take access of the particular machine or the server, right? So that's the reason like in this video we will set up Grafana, so the Prometheus and Grafana, including few more plugins using programmatically, right? So we don't have any manual tags over here now. So what is Prometheus and Grafana? So the Prometheus is a like powerful open source monitoring system and the time series database. It gets great for collecting metrics from your applications and infrastructure. And Grafana is an analytics and visualization tool that not virtualization, sorry, it's a visualization tool that works perfectly with the Prometheus to create the stunning dashboards, right? So with Prometheus, we will try to collect all the metrics, and those metrics we will showcase or visualize in Grafana dashboard. Right? And to do all this setup, what else we need it here? We definitely we need like Docker to be installed, Docker Compose to be installed, and you also should have like basic understanding of Docker commands. Okay, but if you don't know, don't worry. I'll be guide you step by step here. And now we will do it. And in this particular video, I'll be using GitLab as a CI/CD tool. Using through GitLab pipeline, we will set up all these things. Okay, so now let's get started. So in this video, now I have my let me create another new repo. Okay, so login if you don't have any GitLab account, you can just log into the GitLab with your account, create an account, and create a new project. And of course, ensure that you have a active runner, which is runner you need to run this particular pipeline. Okay, and how to active or how to install the runner in the GitHub. So there is a separate video for this, and the link is there in the description. You can go ahead and check it out. Now let's go ahead and create a new project, and let me give some name here of like Prometheus or like monitoring setup. What name I can give, like P, let's say, yeah, monitoring enterprise or enterprise monitoring, enterprise monitor. Okay, now let me select a namespace where I can go ahead and select my namespace and the username, and it's a private repo, but I will make it public as well. For now, let me do it a private repo and create a project. So once you create the project, you will have the project created here. Now go ahead, this is your project. Now let me clone this to my IDE. So in this video, I'll be using PyCharm, but you can also use VS Code as the do you want like whatever you want to do it. You can use your favorite IDE, but In this video, I'll be using PyCharm, but I like to use Visual Studio Code as well. But this time, like I'm just giving it a try for PyCharm. Now let's trust this window. Cool. So I have my repository cloned into my local, but however, I just want to confirm whether there is a runner for this project or not. To check that, select CI/CD and click on runners and enable. It is already enabled, right? Enable instance runner for this project. I don't want because I want to use my own runner, which is Linux default is my tag enable for this project. I have also one more runner which is macOS. I won't be using macOS here. I'll be using Linux. Okay, so cool. If you see here, this particular runner is tag activated for this particular project. Go back to my project. Okay, now go back to our pipeline here. Sorry, go back to our project here, and let me start writing our code here. Let me first type a GitLab -ci.yaml. Okay, so this is the file where actually we write our pipeline script for the GitLab. Now let me write a skeleton script for now. Later we will write our actual code. So let's do that. Okay, let me maximize it. So that will be stages. Or I'll say something called pre-check. And the next stage I'll say like build and cleanup. No, let's do a cleanup first, then pre-check, cleanup, pre-check, and build. Okay. Now let me do it. First is cleanup. Now let me use cleanup. This is my job name, and the stage will be cleanup, and tag will be like Linux default. So you can find it here. So go to the settings, CI/CD, under runners. You will see the tag which is activated. Linux default. This is the tag name. Okay. Go back to our pipeline code. So tag Linux. Cool. And I just want to write down a sample script like echo cleanup completed, cleanup completed. Now let's have my next job, which is like pre-check, job name pre-check, and stage I can just say pre-check, and tags Linux default, and script I'll just say like echo pre-check completed something. Okay, now we'll have a build stage. Build stage in this same like I'll be stage name will be build, and tag name will be again Linux default, and the script will be something wrong here. Okay, echo build successfully completed. Cool. So I have a skeleton pipeline for now. Let me push this and see whether pipeline is running on the runner or not. Okay, so let's save it. Go to our commit stage, select the files, just say initial setup, commit and push. Go here, go to the build stage and pipeline. So here we should see a pipeline should be running here. Cool. It is running. Check what are the tag it is taking off. Cool. This is running fine. This is running in our self-hosted GitLab runner, and it is working as fine. If you see, go back, something is coming up. Good. Okay, so all three stages are completed. Now go back to our actual code. So let's not do anything else here. Okay, in the GitLab CI, we will later will do the make changes here. But for now, what we want to do it, we will be creating container first. Remember, so what internal containers we need to create it here. To set up Prometheus and Grafana, of course, we need a Prometheus, we need a Grafana container, Prometheus container. We will be also using two additional plugins, which is Node Exporter and Blackbox Exporter. Okay, so this particular two plugins we will be using it. So now let's start writing our script, which is our Docker Compose. Go back, write. So Docker compose.yaml. Okay, this will be our Docker Compose YAML. Little bit. Okay, so in this Docker Compose YAML, if you want to know more about it, you can just go to Docker Compose documentation. You can go and watch here if you want. There are lot many things are here. You can go through and check everything. Okay, so now I'll be using Docker Compose here. Now the initial stage I'll be using version, and this will be using 3.8. Okay, and all three or four runners of all three and four containers will be using a single network. Okay, now let me create a network here, networks, and we will give this name as let's give monitoring. Okay, and what type of network it is? Bridge. Cool, we are done with the network setup. So this is network for setup for containers. Cool. Now we need the containers now. So as I say, like I need four containers for now. Now all these containers will be under services. And first container, I'll write node exporter. Okay, so we will start creating all these containers. Okay, so first like Prometheus, Grafana, node exporter, and Blackbox. So before I create this particular instance, let me tell you few key feature of this particular node exporter. So generally, it's a like a node exporter is a Prometheus plugin, which is its name says like exporter, designed to collect and export the system level metrics from your Linux host to all the nodes, and it also enables Prometheus to gather the performance related data and about the host machine, such as CPU, memory, disk I/O, network statistics. So this particular data, it is trying to capture it. So when I say like system matrix collections, let's say like CPU usage and load averages, memory usage and availability, disk space and disk I/O statistics, network traffic and statistics, file system metrics. So all these things like it will try to do, and it's of course it's a lightweight and efficiency. Okay, it's a node exporter is a lightweight daemon designed for the minimal resources consumption on the server, and is highly configurable and integration with Prometheus. So when now let me start and create the so services under services like I'll be creating it, and so node exporter. I'll be using an image for this, right? Image. So what is the image? Go to Docker of search for node exporter container image. From Prometheus, it will be there, right? Let's go and official images. No, it's not there. It's there. It should be there somewhere. Node exporter. Yes, we have this. So this is our container. Okay. Now copy this. So this is our image. Cool. And of course, let me use the latest one. If they have anything. And what the name you want to give? Of course, node exporter. And I want to restart it. Restart is only required until unless it is stopped. Now, these are the steps that we have added. Now, since we are configuring this as a programmatically way, meaning all the configuration will be in the code and will be the host mounted host volume. So we also need to configure the volumes as well. So using that, we will get to know whenever, let's say the main proposition is that like once it's your container is crash, you have still your data available, right? And what you can do it, right? So when your system, let's say container crash or your server crash, doesn't matter. If your container crash, still you can recreate your container. If your server crash, no worries. You have still your files ready in your repository. Just build another server and push your code. Done. You are done with your setup. You don't need to like to take control or take access to that machine, install it manually or do it. Doesn't require anything. Okay. Now, since we are configuring it a programmatically way, I wanted to configure it the volumes. So volumes, of course, I'll be taking few metrics from the volumes since it is exporter. It try to access the metrics from the different file systems. Okay. For now, let me let me add all the file systems where I wanted to get the metrics. Host, process, and of course read-only access. And we also need system and also we need root file system as well. And I also wanted to add a collector. It's not collector, sorry. So these are the volumes that I want to do it. Now let me run the commands which will help me to collect the metrics. Okay, so let me define the path for the process file system equal to host in our line number 15 host slash process. Similarly, let me also add the path for root file system, which is host, not host, it's direct like root fs. Similar way, let me add the path for system file system, and this will be your host and sys. Let me also collect it and exclude few of the processes where I don't need to collect the matrix. To do that, I want to add the collector file system mount or not mounts with mounts collector dot file system mount. Okay, sorry, file system mount hyphen points. exclude one is sys, other one is process div host etc. That's it. And dollar. Okay. So I have added a collector for the file system mount and pointing to excluding sys processes div host. Okay, cool. Just correct. Dollar. Correct. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so we are done with our commands and the ports. Ports basically Node Exporter is using 9100 port number in host port and container port. Of course, you can add this. Okay, ports. And of course, we need to also mention the network, which network we will be using it within a monitoring network. In a list, we have added the monitoring network. Cool. So we are done with one container setup. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's build this container, create it, and see whether it is running or not. To do that, what I can do, I have to modify our GitLab CI/CD code. Now close it, open it in different panel. Okay. Okay, I have added a cleanup, that is fine. And pre-check, that is fine. Build stage. So build stage, I need to order command. So I want to build this particular container. So this is very simple. We can add is instead of build stage Linux. Okay, let's have our command. Like right how to build it. Before that, let's check our Docker version. Okay, or you can directly run it. No issues. So Docker compose. Sorry, I need to add. Just add a before script as well. Before script. Done checking Docker version and command is docker hyphen hyphen or dover, sorry, docker hyphen hyphen version. And now add our actual script. Okay, let me close it because it's very small, right? Actual script, which is docker compose of hyphen d. This script will run in the detached mode. So when this pipeline will run, what will happen? It will try to create this particular container with all these mount points. Now go and commit our changes. We have how many file changes? Two file changes. Initial setup. What you are doing it here? Creating node exporter container. Commit and push, and go back to our code. Go back to pipeline. You should have one more pipeline immediately here. Open it. Open the build stage because the build stage is important for us now. Because those cool looks like it is created. Okay, and we want to know what is the IP address of this machine, right? This particular host. Good. So actually this Let me see if I open the terminal or not. So this particular host IP address is, let me check it. We can also add in our script as well. It is 1.11. Okay, so go to the IP address 192.168.1.11. So what is the port number we use? We use the port number 9100. 9100. Enter. Cool. If you see, the node exporter is running, and if you go to the matrix, and here is the matrix. Okay, cool. At least one of our container is up now. Now what else we need? We need another container as well. Like because we need to set up like more than four, as I told you, right? Now we'll go for the Blackbox Exporter. Okay. So before I tell you the Blackbox Exporter, so Blackbox Exporter, this is again it's like a problem for the Prometheus. Okay. And the Blackbox Exporter is another like Prometheus plugin, which is like again an exporter, and this is designed to like for external monitoring of the endpoints. It allows to test and measure the availability, performance, and the functionality of a services by simulating the user level request. Unlike the node exporter, which gather the system level metrics, the black box exporter poops services like HTTP, DNS, TCP, ICMP as well. The most, the key feature of the black box exporter, definitely, it's like monitoring the endpoints like HTTP and HTTPS, TCP, DNS, ICMP. Okay, and it's definitely it's like high configurable. You can configure probes to meet specific requirements such as like matrix, which is like HTTP response headers or the body content, the validating the DNS responses, and checking the SSL certificate and expiring date as well. Okay, and this is also doing the endpoint monitoring and integration with the Prometheus setup. So if you want to check more on this, you can simply go and type uh, Blackbox Exporter Prometheus GitHub. So they have already there a GitHub, like you can find it more about here. Sorry. Okay. So you can find more details from here itself. How these tools are configured stuff here. You can easily find out here. Okay. So let me add the another container, which is our the black box container. Let me make it a little bit size big. Okay. So again, it should be under services, and it's like black box exporter, and here the name will be again, we will be giving it as a black blocks exporter, and image similar way we need also is image. Go back to our Docker Compose here and just type under Prometheus black box exporter, should be here. Yeah, same thing, copy this one and let me use the latest one, whatever they have. And container name, what do you want to keep it? Same, black box exporter. Cool. And also similar way, since as I told you in the before the node exporter, we will be using this everything in programmatically way. So we will be keeping our data inside our mounted volumes in the host, right? So I also need to add volumes as well here. So is what we can do, we will take blackbox blackbox.yaml file from our current directory and we'll mount to etc blackbox under exporter slash blackbox.yaml, meaning meaning sorry meaning we will have a YAML file which is named as blackbox. It will be there in our repository and that will be in the current directory and which will be mounting to this path inside the container. Now similar way, let's do one thing. Create a new file which is called blackbox for Blackbox Exporter, which is like blackbox.yaml. Okay, we added it, blackbox.yaml. For now, let it be blank. Don't add anything else here. So now this is done, and for this port number it will be using for Blackbox 9115. Cool. And similar way, define the network which is monitoring. List monitoring. Cool. I have one more created here, which is like Blackbox Exporter. But remember, like if I push this code, this container is already running, right? So I don't want to disturb this container. What I can do it here, let me comment it out so that it should not touch anything to this particular. I want only, okay. I will uncomment it when everything is ready, and there are a lot many things are there. Don't worry. So I have commented it. I have only one change, which is creating a black box exporter. Now what you can do? Go here, make the change, and push it. Creating, add a new change. Black box container, black box exporter container. Let's give it full name. Container, commit, and push it. Go back to our pipeline. Look at here. What's happening here? This is running. Cool. This is running. Okay. This started. Let's do. Okay. Pipeline is successful. This looks good. It's created. So 9115. Like a duplicate site and change the port number 9115. And look at here. Black box exporter also is running and your node exporter is also is running. So both containers are running as expected. Okay, cool. This looks like fine. What else I can do? Now, you remember right in our code I mentioned it will try to pick this blackbox YAML file. Okay, so this file you we need to have some details so that like we can use it. Now go to our site, our like Blackbox site, Blackbox GitHub page from the Prometheus, and look at here somewhere you have like blackbox.yaml. Cool. Copy this content. We don't need to do anything else here, and go back here. go to the file, black box, paste it here. Okay, paste it here. So I have just pasted here, and I can also post that as well. Changing, but don't post it right now because already containers are there. So let's do one thing. It is still running, right? Let me also comment this one as well. Let me also comment these codes. Sorry. Okay, I commented it. Now let's not comment for now. And we are good with this Blackbox YAML file, right? Now, what you can do it, we will go ahead and set up our Prometheus configuration. Okay, we'll set up our Prometheus configuration. So to do that, let's add another services, which will be like Prometheus configuration, Prometheus Prometheus configuration. Under this Prometheus configuration, what I can do it, same, I can say like Prometheus, and what image you'll be using. Go back to the site, our this one, and type Prometheus. Docker hub. Okay, we have Prometheus. Copy this image and use it. But again, as I told you, right? Let's use the latest one. What they are using it, and what will your container name? Same, right? Prometheus. And similar way, restart until unless it is stopped. And similar way volumes, because all the data will be containing your volumes. Similar way, we will have one file which is called Prometheus.yaml file in local, meaning in our current repository, and will attach this to container Prometheus YAML file. Prometheus.yaml. Okay, and we also created a, remember, we also created a volume maybe in top, which, okay, I didn't create it, so we need to create the volume once here to have our data. So I'll just create a volumes, and then volumes I'll have like Prometheus underscore data. I'll have a created volume, and here what I can do, I can just add that volume here, Prometheus data, and which will be mount to the Prometheus in the container. Okay, so I'm done with the volumes, but now I also wanted to add few commands which is required from the Prometheus side to have the config set in place. Okay, so now config file, the most important file, which is it's etc Prometheus. It is, and this will be your inside your container .yaml .yaml, and this is the config set, and we also want to add storage tstb dot path colon Now storage DSDB path, we don't need colon, it should be pointing to Prometheus. Okay, now we need to add web console as well. Web console dot libraries, and this will be mounting to your etc Prometheus and console underscore libraries. And we also wanted to have web console dot templates, and this will be mounting to etc Prometheus slash consoles. And similar way we have one more, which is web console dot, no, web console dot, we also enable our web, right? B enable lifecycle. We are just adding the command config set to the Prometheus configuration. And ports, again it will be using 9090 9090 and add these two networks which will be under monitoring. So we are ready with this particular things. So what I can do, I can, let me comment this one. It's already running, so I won't do it. Okay, but there is another way. Let's not delete, let's not like let me comment it, later I will do some other configurations. Okay, now go here and add our things like creating Prometheus container. Now comment push. Now look at our pipeline, what it does. Running the pipeline also. It's failed. Very good that is failed, but reason want to know why. It says creating volume enterprise monitor Prometheus as a default driver. Okay. Blackbox Exporter for this project. If you removed or rename the service in your compose file, you can run this command to first plug to clean it up. Creating Prometheus error. Build syntax container fail creating syntax. Error mounting home. Oh, okay. Sorry. We created Prometheus YAML, but I didn't create it, right? That's the reason. Like I asked him to mount this particular file, but I didn't create it. What I can do, I can just create a Prometheus.yaml file for now, and it should be blank. That's fine. So what should be the name? Prometheus.yaml. Prometheus.yaml. I can push it again to create the container. Let me see and push it. go to this particular site. Cool, it says created. Okay, and our port number 9090. So look at here, exporter is running, Blackbox is running. Let me have one more duplicate tab where this will be 9090. Oh, sorry, it's created a new one. Okay, 9090. Cool. Look at here, the Prometheus is also up and running. If I go to the status and target path, I don't see anything here. We will start adding our target paths here through the code. Okay, now let's do one thing. Go back. Okay, Prometheus configuration monitoring, we are done. Now let me go back to our prometheus.yaml file. So prometheus.yaml file, which is important file, these are the our target files where we will be updating it. Okay, if you go to our documentation, Prometheus documentation, uh, configuration, prometheus.yaml, click on configuration. Yeah, this is the file. Otherwise, what you can do, no, this is not the file. Otherwise, you can go directly to the Prometheus file and you see it here. This is the GitHub page and this is the file, Prometheus.yaml file. This file is very much important for us. So we will be keep adding our jobs here. Let's copy this one for now. Let's keep it a DOME file and add it here. Okay, go our code, Prometheus.yaml and paste it here. Now let's start editing this file. This is the default files. This is absolutely right, not an issue. But for now, we will not be using alert manager. Okay, we'll be not using alert manager and rules files. We will be use like script configs for now. Okay, so what we can do, we can remove this alert managers, which we don't need for now, and we'll keep only script configs, which is fine. And first one is Prometheus. We will start adding our job here. The first one is Prometheus, and in this job I want to add like scrap interval. Let me give you a minute, and this also give you a minute. That's fine. Evaluation interval, I don't think so we need it for now. We can safely remove this, and let's give 1 minute, and static config. Oh, okay, have already here, so fine, delete it, not required. Static configs, we'll be adding our targets, right? So targets will be our hosts. For example, Prometheus is running on 9090, right? And the IP is 168.1.11 colon 9090. Cool. So we have added one target, which is Prometheus 192.168.9090. Similarly, we can add the other jobs which we created, which is job name. We also created a node exporter, right? Container. Let's add that as well. So then again, scrap rates or no need to add because it's already there. Just add static configs, target. What happened? Why it is have some indentation error? job name, node exporter, and we want static configs, targets. Any problem with this? Okay. Oh, that's fine, right? Something goes wrong here. Let me add it under scrap configs. I have job name first. Under this job name, let me add node exporter and also add static underscore configs, and let me add the targets under target. So node exporter is running on 9100, right? 192.168.1.9100. This is also done. And also we need to add one more config set, which is for black box. Okay. We also need to add one more config set for the black box. Let me add that as well. So job name, and those config set, I believe we can get it from here itself, from the documentation. Blackbox Exporter, Prometheus GitHub. Click this link, scroll down. Yeah, look at here. This is the Blackbox configure file. Copy this. This is enough. Copy this. Go back to our code and Control V. Now copy from here itself. Otherwise it will have some. Okay. So I've added the black box as well. But looks like is this correct? I don't think so it is correct. Matrix, we don't need all this. Have some issues with indentation. Is it clear? Yeah, looks like it is clear. Module static. So we'll be monitoring these two endpoints, including our Prometheus, not Prometheus, Blackbox Exporter as well, which is 9090. 192.168.1.11. Scroll down, also update here as well, 9115, 192.168.1.11, and here also. So we are ready with our black box, and we have added one more job for black box. We also keep add one more, which is like Blackbox Exporter. Okay, so go here, job name, which will be giving like Blackbox Exporter, and static configs. Okay, got it. Static configs, targets, 192.168.1.11 9115. This is done. So I'm ready with this particular Prometheus configuration. But I have already the containers are running, right? So what I can do it, I can make some changes to my GitLab CI to delete the containers, whatever it is, clear everything, and then recreate the containers for now. Okay. So cool. Now let's go back to this is fine. Close it, and we have the cleanup. Let me do one thing. Let's make it clean enough. Or recheck is fine. This is fine. No, okay. We will be adding a cleanup script here. Just modify this one. Let me delete everything, whatever it is. So cleanup stages is cleanup, tags, cleanups, and script. In this, before script, let me add one small command like which will be giving a permission. I'm just giving like full permission, but which is generally not good. But this particular path doc or dot sock. You know why I'm giving, because in case why deleting if it says like permission issues, I'm just adding it. Okay, now dot add the script here. In script, like first what you can do, first we will clean up docker containers and images. Okay, and the command is, or we can say uh, just stop and remove all running and stopped containers. So the command will be docker ps -aq -r docker stop. This is the first command. Second command is -aq -r docker rm, and this is docker rm. Cool. And now remove all unused images. The command is docker images -q. This will list out all the images which are not in use. Docker rmi -f. This will clear everything. And we'll also remove like unused volumes. Meaning, if you have any optional volume or on mount volume which is not in use if necessary. The command, we can just type command will be like docker system prune if volumes. Okay, and let me run this only master branch or the main. What is this branch? Main, right? Let's go and check what is this branch it is running. Okay, everything I'm running in main branch. But generally we should not push directly to main branch. But since it is a like a learning purpose, I'm just telling you we should not do it. We have to create our feature branch. Everything working fine, then push to your master. Master is not like open to all to push it directly. It's protected branch. Okay, So this one first will try to clean up everything and pre-check. That is fine, nothing to check. Build is running anyway. Now go to our compose file. I have commented some things, right? Let me uncomment it because I don't want to comment. Okay, cool. So what I did, I have removed all the commented lines, right? Now if you want to do a history check, we'll find out like what changes we did. Cool. We have added only remove the comments. That's good. Okay. Now go to commit and push or change. Now what we are doing? Creating or not creating, updating Prometheus.yaml file for the jobs and cleanup stage for Docker containers. Cool. Have some good commit, proper commit so that the other person can understand your what only you did. Or otherwise, if you are using the Jira ticket, something like that, you can add Jira ticket so that people will get to know, okay, you are doing something else here. Cool. Now, if you see cleanup is running fast, let's see what it is doing. Cleanup is done. It remove everything. Now go to Docker, gone, everything gone now. So everything gone. You won't have anything else here. Cool. This is successfully done. Now it will, in the build stage, it will recreate it again without any issue, I believe. First is trying to create the network, creating the network. Take some time. Cool. Looks like it's created everything. Prometheus, Node Exporter, Blackbox Exporter, created all the images. We can also add one more thing here, right? What under images are creating, we can just give it a try here. Okay. After this one, just add a command like docker ps and docker ps hyphen a. We will find out like how many instances are running or fine. Cool. This will push the next time, but now let's validate whether our containers are running or not. Go to here. Cool. Back. Exporter is back. Prometheus. Prometheus is not at up. Let's wait. Something is killing him. Meaning something is some issues are there. While that is the reason like it is not. Now let's see what is the causing issue and why it didn't start. Looks like the Prometheus container. Okay, I believe you are not able to see the. Let me open it. Let me open my terminal. Actually, I'm trying to open the terminal here. Good. Docker ps-a. It says it's restarting. Why? It says job name not found, which is what is the job name? What is the job name? Prometheus YAML unmercial error line number failed. Job name not found and type reliable pane. Field statistic config not found in the reliable pane. Okay. What is this? From where this is not able to find? Now let's do the troubleshooting. Okay. So this is our Prometheus YAML. It says line number 33 and 32. 33 and 32. And 32. This would be under static config. Okay. And target static. Okay. Job name is Blackbox. Job name is Blackbox. Matrix Pro from modules to be S2X. Static configs. Target. Target also have the same thing. And the reliable configs we have source address, bottom targets, instance address 1.119115. This is the Blackbox Exporter's real hostname port. And oh, okay, I have added here the wrong thing here. So job name will not be here actually. It's my problem. Okay, so I need to adjust this indentation. Okay, where it should go. Static config target. Okay, and job name Black Exporter. Why I have added 2 times here? Is it was added already? Oh, sorry, it's added already. Then we don't need to add it again. Sorry. Okay, so code changes is done. Now let me do one thing. Commit and push it. And I believe it should fix the other issues. Blackbox Exporter. Let's clear the instances, right? It's running? No. Okay, it will recreate it. Don't worry. Okay, looks like it is created and all are running now fine. Okay, running. Running. Prometheus is also started. Target health. So target health, if you see, the target health has been added automatically when we started adding our Prometheus ML and Blackbox XML. So this is slowly coming off. If you see the logs here as well. Let's see. Okay, looks like almost everything up, right? But apart from this, unknown something is there. That's okay. It will also up in some time. Yeah, if you see it is also up. So mostly everything up. That's fine. Only this one which is not up, but it should be up by this time now. Yeah, all three are off. So good that all our targets are up and running. And expected is working as expected. Cool. So now what the next it is? Our next is this is done. Prometheus ML. Okay. Now what we can do it. We also need to add few more configurations for the Grafana as well. But for now, let's keep it the same way. And go to the docker.yaml and next we can add the next service which is Prometheus. Oh, Grafana. Sorry. So we need to add our next container which is Grafana. So Grafana like we'll add it and we will start accessing the Grafana as well. Now services like Grafana, give enter, get some comment as well. Grafana configuration, Grafana, and again same image. Go to our site, just type here Grafana. We have here right somewhere Prometheus Grafana. Oh, sorry. So we will have Grafana, Grafana. Go to here. This is our official image. Copy this image, paste it here, and use the latest one as usual. Container name Grafana. As usual, we'll add in the volumes to mount or volume mount our like data. A local file we will have like Grafana configurations, which will be like provisioning. We'll have inside the local directory and this provisioning will have mounted to etc Grafana and provisioning with read-only access. Now I need to set up our username and password to access this, right? So which is Grafana underscore security underscore admin user equal to admin. This is like default username, right? And see similar way Grafana security admin password, I'll just type root@123, which is like something I'll be using this password to log in my Grafana. Not default password, changed password. Okay, and it will be run in the ports, which is 3000. 3000 and depends on Prometheus. And again, network as usual, monitoring. So I'm done with the setup, means creating our Grafana setup. Now I also wanted to add something in our Prometheus.ml for the Grafana, because Grafana also is a job, right? We also wanted to add in the Prometheus.ml for the Grafana. Go back here. Let's add a new job name. I can just type Grafana statistics config, targets, and 192.168.1.11, and the port number is 3000. Okay, and I also wanted to have a remote login to the Grafana. Sorry. So remote login. So I'll add one parameter here. Remote write. The URL will be definitely http colon 192.168.1.11 colon 9090, and the basic authentication, the user ID we are given like admin, and the password will be the one which I given to login. Okay, I have added this configurations as well, and the Docker compute as well. So now we will have all our containers ready running, right? So now we don't have any issue. Cool. Now go and commit it. We've added few of the things. What we added? Creating Grafana container and configurations for Grafana. Commit, push, go back our job. So by this time, all our containers will be running as expected. And then what we can do, we can see how this is working. Okay, it is running. Let it run. Go to the build stage. Creating may take some time. It will create like almost everything. All our containers with the same network. And now we will have to see how this is working in our Grafana dashboard. Our exporter is running. Cool. Blackbox Exporter is running. Cool. Prometheus running. Cool. But nothing is off. It will take some time to off. And how about Grafana? Let's have one duplicate dev 3000, right? Grafana also started. Okay, it's coming up slowly. Let's monitor this. How about a pipeline? Success. Good. So we have all the containers are up and running. So it'll take some time. Let's wait this to complete first. Meantime, let me log in. So I defined this username and password in my code, right? Where I'll be using the default ID and password for this, which is like admin and root password. So let's see. Once it is up and running, cool. Looks like everything is up and running. Now let's go and add my dashboard. Once you log into your Grafana UI, this is your UI for Grafana. You have to click on connections, data source. For us, data source is Prometheus because all the data comes from Prometheus only. Now I have clicked on it. It'll take some time to load it. Now this is the Prometheus URL. Let's go back to Prometheus, copy this and paste it. So now sub and test. Now I need to add import a dashboard. So first let me import Blackbox. Prometheus GitHub, not GitHub, dashboard. So Prometheus Blackbox Exporter dashboard. Copy this ID. Go back here, paste it here, load it, and select our data, which is Prometheus. Click on import, and look at here. Your data is done, and this is your visualization. So the data, whatever you are getting from here, everything is working fine. Now look at here. We are monitoring for now all three endpoints, right? And everything is off. Nothing is down now. Up, up, and this is also up, and this is also up. Cool. And here is our graph. You can just make it to like auto check, like whenever you want to see your metrics, you can check it out. Okay. So this is the dashboard for your Blackbox exporter, meaning this exporter will continuously monitoring your endpoints, your DNS, your HTTP, your HTTPS endpoints, and everything. Now let's create another one where we will try to monitor our metrics, meaning CPU utilization and using the node exporter, right? So I believe in these particular hosts, let me check. Jenkins is running 1.11.1.80.80. Cool. Looks like this is running 1.11.80.80. Since it is running, we can start getting our what? Start getting our data here for the matrix. Now take some time to load what it is. That is fine. Let it run first. And meantime, let me add the configuration as well. So here, let me add another job for Jenkins. Okay, so job name I'll give Jenkins. and static config sets, will be your targets, and your target will be your IP address of your this one. Jenkins 192.168.1.11.8080. But I just missed one, add one more thing, which is your matrix path. Matrix path, definitely it will be your Prometheus, because the data will take from your Prometheus only. I've added this one. That is cool. Is it running? Runner root 123. Let's see. Cool. It's taking some time to run it. Let's wait for dashboard. Meantime, let me see the job. Load it. Now go to manage Jenkins and change my IP address here at least, because it is updated. I need to reserve this IP for Jenkins. I don't know, this is too slow for Jenkins. The resource is too high. Meantime, what I can do, have already added the Jenkins, right? So that's not an issue. Go back to pipeline, sorry, code. Look here, all my changes, Prometheus, and adding Jenkins endpoint. I push it. We create one more pipeline. Okay, this one. System. Let me give it 11. Apply and save. So pipeline is running here now. Open it. Go to build stage. Close the unnecessary things so that we don't want to get it destroyed. And close this one. Close this one as well. It is so now all the containers destroyed, right? To be creating a new container. But in my scenario, like I'm just destroying it and recreating it. But however, you no need to do this. You can still keep your containers active and push your changes and restart your container. It will keep taking your updated files data. Meaning, just now I have added like Jenkins job name, right? So instead of destroying the container, recreating it again, what I can do, I can just stop the container and restart it. So because my code is already there, in code is there, so it will just push the updated files there. That is also you can do it. So let's see. What is happening? Okay, cool. This looks like running. Node exporter is active. This one is active. This is active, but still it takes some time. That's fine. Prometheus. This is also running fine as well. So dashboard is not found. That is cool. Now I can add a new dashboard. Prometheus. This is node exporter Prometheus, right? Copy this. Go here. Paste it here. Remove everything. Save and test. Cool. Now this time I'll be using node exporter where I can see the matrix. So to do that, let me ensure that everything is up and running here. Let's wait for 5 minutes or not more than that. Meantime, all this within this everything will be off. Something goes wrong here, which is Prometheus. Oof, I added a wrong invalid port number somewhere. Where is that? Oof, sorry, it will fail. I have to push again. Let me add this change, commit, push. I have to push again. I have a new pipeline now. Open this pipeline. This time I believe all our containers will be up and running, and we will see like how it is trying to capture the matrix and display that in our Grafana dashboard. Now let's wait and see all these containers are up and running. And meantime, this will be the end. This will be like end push from our end. And meantime, like if you are really working on DevOps and you want to explore something about monitoring and Grafana Prometheus, so instead of logging to the host and do all these things, let's do everything from your code. Whenever your host crashes or your container crashes, you don't need to be worried because your code already there in place. Just push it, create a new node, deploy that into the new node. Everything will be up and running, so you don't need to get worried for that. And if you like this, again, if you like this tutorial benefits for you, you learn something here, something new from this tutorial, I would request like to share and subscribe and like this video. And for GitLab, there is a complete course in my channel. If you want to learn about the GitLab, we have a complete like production based or like industry level configuration, meaning the real-time job configurations. I have made a video tutorial on that. You can go through that and you can watch it there. Okay, so definitely I hope this video will helpful for you to get learn or to get have some idea about this monitoring part. Similarly, like whenever you want to add lot many job names to monitor your infrastructure, monitor endpoints, you can keep adding that in your code. So you don't need to like go log in and host and do manually changes there. And let's say if once your host crashes and everything goes off, then you lose your data, right? So keep everything in code itself, so that whenever you have a new node, deploy there and get this done. Now my job is done here. Blackbox Exporter is running. Cool. It's trying to access, and I hope this time we should have no issues. Everything is off. Looks like apart from this true. I believe this time it will be off. Okay, one running. What happened? Prometheus. Cool. Okay, one more. One is done. Another one is still pending. This is also done. Now all my targets which I have added from code itself. I have not added manually. I didn't log into any machines and add it. This is everything added by code only. You can still adding your configs through code. Okay. So you understood the reason behind making this video is that You should manage your infra setup. You should manage your all application setup through the code, not logging to your host and do manual configurations. And tomorrow your host crashes, something goes wrong with that, then you lose your data. Right. Come back to here. Log in here. Prometheus Grafana. New connections. Data store. Prometheus. Go back to your Prometheus site name. Copy. Paste it here somewhere. Okay. And let's do 7 test. Okay, I've added. Now let me add the import dashboard. A dashboard is nothing but node exporter dashboard. So node exporter dashboard, if you see, we need to copy the same like ID. We'll have similar dashboard like this. CPU just monitoring on all these things. Copy the clip ID. Uh, Go back our paste it here. Load it. Now this is picking up the node exporter full. Select the Prometheus data source, which is like Prometheus, and import it. And here you go. This is what your expectation is, and now this is in front of you. Now it will keep start monitoring your data. It will start keeping everything from your applications, right? The CPU, the syslog, the RAM, swap memory, the root file system, everything is here. Go and watch. And I also request you, like, if you are really wanted to do the setup using your CI/CD tool GitLab or Jenkins, you are definitely can do it. And if you are really doing it and this is helpful for you, please uh, work it and share your repository in my comment section. If you want any help, like, you can also join my Telegram channel here. Okay, this is definitely be, I believe, helpful for you. And also in coming future, like, we'll be coming with another project where we will be using some Docker applications, using all the setups like that we have, and everything will be code based. We don't need to log in any of the hosts and do anything there. If you face some issues which is there in the node, and you are just thinking like, okay, let me log into the host and fix it manually. No, don't do that. Try to fix those issues through your code. Okay, because whenever you have a new node, you should not have faced the same issues, right? Try to minimize logging to your node and do your job. Let node run. That's enough for us. We don't want to log in. Everything we will manage from our code. So this is enough. I believe that's for the day today. If you really like, again, I want to say, I want to request, if you really like this video, I want to set up the similar setup from your end, and let me know if you have done your setup using GitLab CI or Jenkins, whatever it is, and if that works for you. And I have only using two plugins here, which is Blackbox and Node Exporter. You can also try to use more plugins and like Alert Manager and all these things. There are a lot of plugins are there. You can start using that. And if you face any issues on that, please feel free to ping me or comment me or join my Telegram channel so that we can clarify on that in the group. Okay, so thank you all. Thank you for watching this video and have a great day. Thank you.